Although they fell victim to the one a little bit earlier in the play day, they are still the clear and absolute favorite coming into this, and that is the bravery that I want to see from a quote-unquote underdog. Take the top dog to Brax's holdout, and maybe with a little bit of shenanigans, with a little bit of luck and skill, take your victory there. Or at least make it really, really annoying for them to win over you.
Yeah, every map matters. If you think you can get a cheese victory in this format, then you absolutely go get that cheese victory.
So, I mean, it's not like it's not like SPTs are complete strangers to this map, right? They themselves played it already in the past against CE, for example. But, well, it's always a special case there. It's always a little bit special because certain heroes can become very impactful on the Braxis holdout. We mentioned Chromie here, for example. We mention other stacking heroes. Like, basically everything that can stack in the early game is really, really solid here, especially because of the longer laning phase. Even a Zagara might happen here. We saw it earlier before SPT picked it.
It's a little bit less likely now, as SPT already have their solo laner in the form of the Urel straight away. It's time for some crusading, paladin style.
Tetcher, I believe that we saw the Zagara last time as a 4-man laner as well, with a devouring maw.
Oh yeah, you are correct.
I don't remember which solo laner they picked. I think it was Malthael. I'm not 100% sure, but it was not the ordinary Zagara pick, right? They went for devouring maw, 3-2 split. It was craziness.
I think I bit my tongue. As we see, yeah, it's fine.
Good thing it happens now when all the casting marathon is gone, right?
Exactly. A little bit of blood never hurt anyone, except my tongue, because that's the thing that's bleeding. But either way, the Deckard Kane and the Garrosh here. Good follow-up CC after the after the engage of Garrosh is good. Pre the Deckard over Malfurion though, interesting.
Yeah, Deckard over Malfurion, and I actually like it, to be honest. I think in a longer, more sustained laning phase, Deckard offers a little more. What he has over Malfurion, in my opinion, is more targeted healing, and also more CC. True, Malfurion has the roots, but Deckard has a root as well, plus the slow on top of it. Lower mana cost in general as well. So I don't hate this call whatsoever, especially with the shielding potions at level 4. We all know how valuable shields can be on a low HP Garrosh when his armor basically causes those shields to be broken more slowly as well. So I don't hate it, but I really, really like the Irel. I think she's going to be absolutely demolishing that lane.
Depends what they put against it. We already know some heroes can. Maybe it's going to be an A-Team Zagara. Maybe they're going to counter it. We've not seen Irel have to lane against the Zagara yet.
Yeah, Zagara is still dangerous in the solo lane, especially against someone like Irel. She struggles against certain heroes, like Chen, for example, is a mean counter. Also, the Alrek can be quite dangerous. Like, basically everything that can either out-sustain her, poke damage, or threaten her and kill her. Irel might be more of a sustainer. I haven't seen this duel, so I would love to see it actually here.
Malfurion banned away here, so the support pool, I'd say it's getting lower for SPT, but for starters, there's more than enough supports in the game that you're probably fine. And for second, they're very comfortable with Karazim or Rhaegar if they wanted to. Hammer is banned, very sensibly.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, we talked about laning phases and early game pressure. Hammer basically brings all that to the table. No.
How excited are you for the triple ban system currently implemented in Hero League?
I have yet to play Heroes of the Storm ever since the Raynor and Asmo rework, because
me too. I mean, it was last night, right before this, so not ideal for us.
So both of us have actually been really busy, right? So probably we're gonna get some get to play some games tonight.
Possibly. I mean, I'm probably gonna sleep.
Well deserved, bro. Well deserved.
Jada being picked up here by the A-Team, removing another one of those extra slow heroes from the Phoenix. Although, again, it's Praxis. We could be seeing the Planet Cracker Phoenix, which means the Jaina would not have been as essential. And they take the Malthael, one of the heroes who can actually lane against the Urel.
It's probably going to be a 50-50, and the individual skill of the respective players is either going to decide it or a gank, right? It all comes down to how efficient can people gank? Murden already being super mobile on Brax's Holdout because he can dwarf toss over walls, coming with an element of surprise. It's probably going to be definitely a hero to be on the lookout for. What else could they go for? They need a support. Malfurion is not available anymore. So they could go for Morales, which is like one of those niche heroes on Brax's Holdout sometimes. Because she doesn't require mana and is pretty good at sustaining folks in the laning phase.
Stukov and the Hanzo. Very standard comp by SPT. No messing around at the start of this series.
True. Definitely want to play this standard, and I think if you're SPT, you want to play standard as well, because if you know SPT, they can be a very emotional team, and losing, actually getting dominated twice in a row by the one, that can't really make them happy. So they really want to make up for the points they just lost.
Exactly. They need the full points to put themselves even 3 points behind the one at this point. If they lose this somehow 2-0, they're 6 points behind the one.
Which would be insane.
With 1 week to go. Yeah.
Even if they tie for some miraculous reason, it's still a pretty big drawback for the SPT in terms of chasing after the one.
Very true. And it's only the top two. Yes, top 2 positions are technically safe. So
yes, that is
they
correct.
also it's even more so. It's even less so actually about catching the one, although that is very important. It's even more so about creating some space in between them and CE, who are hot on their heels.
So the last picks were, of course, the Malthael here, the Junkrat as well, and the Jaina for the A-Team. So no shenanigans detected on either side. Both teams are trying to play this as normally as possible, as normally as you can play on Braxis in the first place, because the map is always a special treat to follow and to cast, at least for me. What about you? On a scale from 1 to 10, how much are you enjoying casting Braxis Holdout?
Like 8.7. I really enjoy it. I love them. I love this map. I personally think it's one of the more entertaining ones, can lead to some really entertaining games, and I think that snowballing should be a thing on some maps. Not every map should be exactly the same.
Take cover! A lot of people are gonna get triggered by these statements so hard.
Unpopular opinion here, but I quite like Braxis, and I think that the Zerg is cool,
But also the Zerg's being changed, so either way, it's still being balanced. So
you know what? I'm gonna jump into the breach and reinforce your statements here. I liked Hanamura. I want it back.
You're wrong. As we head into game number 1 of our final best of 2 of the day. It's going to be SPT versus the A-Team. We're heading to Braxis Holdout, and on the left-hand side, it is going to be SPT with Lucky playing the Hanzo, Melody C playing the Phoenix, Misaka on Muradin, Soap on Urel, and ZZH is playing the Stukov.
Facing them, the clear underdog, but nevertheless, not without any chances. It is the A-Team. Jaina playing Jaina again. Olele on that Junkrat. Bruiser on the Malthael. Decker Kane is going over to Stukov, and Kaitu, the Uncle G replacement, on the Garrosh. Now, can they do it? Kaitu actually looked pretty solid in that first series we saw him on. Definitely not... it's hard to say if he's an improvement, but he's definitely not a weak link now that Uncle G is no more.
Excellent point. And I'm just glad to have Kaitu back. I missed his hyper-aggressive plays when he played for KT.
Yeah. Definitely one of the more enjoyable players to follow. Speaking of which, Kaitu is playing very defensively right now. I think they want to figure out like how the lane distribution is going to be, but immediately SPT is not going to ask twice about that. They take down Junkrat and secure first blood for themselves.
Nice little bit of AoE, by the way, there, with the Arsenal synergy dropping onto both Stukov and Jaina, which, well, once again, almost, we didn't get the Stukov on Stukov again. We still get Jaina on Jaina, though. Minimal confusion. Stormbolt has landed.
All right, Jaina needs to go to safety here. Thanks to the potions of Decker Kane, they can actually do that. Melody C now, on the other hand, in a lot of trouble himself. He's going to recover, though. Kaitu is tanky Garrosh. So SPT can no longer continue to snowball from that. Soap keeping the minions at bay, holding his own here. Actually, I want to follow this solo lane a little more here with Malthael against Irel, which would be really interesting to follow.
But unfortunately we can't communicate with the observers, otherwise if I was observing I would take you there, but I would also be shaky and wonky while doing so. As we see the camp being taken by SPT, going to try and put some pressure onto this bot lane, assist them. As the channel, 20% already. Kaito may have got a good throw onto Misaka. Not enough for a kill though, but they're able to neutralize by taking control of bot lane. Malthael gets control of top lane. Now how long can the A-Team control this top area?
How long can they hold it indeed? The siege camp, as you said, already marching towards A-Team's base. The silence is good, but Garrosh already becoming super tanky thanks to the passive armor. And now we see the duel here between Irel and Bruiser. Unfortunately, Soap misinterpreting the movement patterns of Bruiser because he definitely wanted to hit him with that Avenging Rat. Here comes Phoenix, though, teleporting over the wall, trying to chase down the Jaina. Are they going to be successful with it, though? Decker Kane gets taken out here as well by Misaka. No more potions for Jaina. Needs to use it as a self-heal there. 1-for-1 trade. Irel falls as well.
Both of these teams, though, misinterpreting the rules of the 1v1, but it's still going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Irel in exchange for Deckard Kane, and the double channel starts for Super Perfect Team.
Yeah, Misaka now needs to hold the position here. Hold the ground for as long as possible. Stunning out the Garrosh before he can enter the platform. Very nicely done.
Holding the line, just tosses Misaka off it to get at minimum the neutral point. Very nice use of something that Garrosh can do that not many other tanks can. Melody C though, got in that extra movement speed thanks to the fact he was attacking slowed enemies for a little bit. Channel starts once again. Super Perfect Team in control, going for Stukov again. Down goes Deckard Kane as Bruiser is now in full retreat. The 100 Zerg wave comes out for Super Perfect Team in the bot lane.
Yeah, and a little bit of a weaker one coming out for the A-Team, so at least they got a little something out of it. But of course, it is clear to see that the mightier, the more powerful push is going over to SPT. Now, so while Irel doesn't have the strongest of wave clears, she does have a lot of self-sustain and a little bit of CC to keep those Zergs at bay for now. Speaking of Alele, I think Junkrat might get caught again. He actually captures Melody C as well in those concussion mines. Hanzo, scatter arrow. Oh my goody goodness.
Junkrat lives. The Garrosh won't, though. Nice little kill using those silences from ZZH, who has been on point in the very short time this game has been going so far. SPT, they are not here for mercy.
No, they're here to take lives after falling victims to the one. So I'm actually doing a pretty good job keeping the lane safe. Both towers were actually, you know, kept alive here for now. Melody C needs to be a little bit more aware of his positioning there. He takes a lot of damage from the Junkrat. Already the bottom fort has been burned through. Let's see how much damage they can get done against the towers. Garrett coming in with a flank. Gets stopped though and silenced again.
Oh man, they're not going to get him this time, but Kaito almost getting taken down a second time purely due to the silences from ZZH, which is just working so well. Get outplayed. Bruiser's just like, oh, this paladin is here to try and take my lane, but it should be Mercy that's begging for me. Wait, no, I've messed up 2 quotes. Either way, we see Bruiser taking the kill thanks to some use of the towers.
Soap getting a little greedy there. As good as Irel is, as close as that combat was, know your limits. Very, very important. Now, level 7, by the way, no Divine Steed again. China really doesn't seem to like that talent. Muradin is taking a short cruise there with several knockbacks at the same time. And he also took the gift of the Naru, which means that lower targets nearby, no lower allied targets, are going to receive a pretty significant heal.
Here come the mercenaries for both teams. All mercenaries on the map currently being captured. As we see the A-Team looking to take up position. There is a Muradin and a Phoenix hovering around. Looks like they might try and hunt down Junkrat, but Junkrat, he knew. He's already teleported. He's already bounced away on the minimap. And actually, oh, he does port. Okay, that was pretty close.
Yeah. Right, in the meantime, we see Garrosh taking so much damage. Yet again, that Stukov really seems to be on point with the lurking arms. In the meantime, the Bruiser camp getting completely demolished by the combined efforts of Melody C and Soap. Simple geometry now completed for Lucky, which means ultimately more poking damage. He went for the explosive shot, and that is a really important thing to point out, right? Explosive shot here at level 4 is so much more valuable when it comes to dealing with the Zergs. because you cannot always have those walls in there, and also it's usually going to hit more Zergs than a couple of scatter arrows from the side. So explosive shot, the value here in Brax's Holder, not to be underestimated. Especially if you get the piercing arrows at level 16.
Indeedy, as we see everyone gathering around. Soap got some good vision of this area, but he does not see into that bush, as Garrosh, I believe, still revealed himself. Misaka just chucks him a storm bolt and disappears.
That he does. Level 10 is getting dangerously close for SPT now. So the A-Team needs to be very careful. Soap going for yet another flank. The slow is good on Jaina. The silence is good as well, but Deckard Cain keeps her alive for now. But look at how aggressive SPT is pushing into this. They might get the meltdown now. Potion's a little bit too far away. Yet another victory. No mercenary camps to be stolen immediately. But the beacons are live. 4 versus 5. Now Misaka, careful, buddy. Oh.
Misaka survives. Escapes will heal up very quickly thanks to his trait. He didn't go for the level 1 upgrade to the trait, so it's going to take him a little bit longer, but he's mirrored in. Still a long time. Very close with that teleport by Melody C. Very nearly getting flipped.
Yeah, that seems to be the name of the game. So close, yet so far. SPT that is. Going for the cheeky plays, not yet to be punished right now. And could it be, Tetcher, that Garrosh is slowly but surely becoming our least successful main tank in this?
I think so. This is why he's actually dropped off a little bit,
yeah.
As far as I can tell. It is going to be Panic Cracker, by the way. It's going to be a dead Garrosh, by the way. And there goes the bot. Yeah, they're going to take it. They have 90% on the Zerg wave. They can just do that, run top, grab that too, and then they're going to have a big old push.
This could already be lights out, to be honest. Like, if they time it well, if they get the Zerg wave and the boss in unison, they could have even stalled out the capture of the boss a little bit longer. Let's see, Zerg wave comes in from the top, and the boss is marching towards top. This could be game.
Yeah, it is. It always pushes the least pushed lane, and the Zerg was spawning up here because of the rotation. A little bit slow to push with this stuff, due to the fact they wanted a mercenary camp as well, which will de-push the Zerg, as now they move up. Misaka, the only one here currently. Like you said, this might be GG. This is a whole lot of stuff pushing against the A-Team. We're going to see Riptide just to clear some Zerg. Dragon Arrow comes out though, double stun, big boss damage, silence on Garrosh, and he will fall. Now they're looking for Jaina, trying to catch him. Soap from behind, moving in, looking for some heresy, finds a Jaina, and wants to move into position for the knockback. No, he's focusing on Stukov instead. Planet Cracker! Completely zones away Stukov. Stukov gets the slow. There's a kill by Butcher. Nice job.
And that's what happens when you're getting a little too far into the enemy team's defenses here. Although the Ardent Defender was used wisely, it was still a lot of damage coming in from Malthael and the towers. However, the boss is still mighty healthy. The Zerg wave, for the most part, has been pretty demolished, though. So only the Guardians left alive with their superior range. They could actually be a serious threat for the keep in the top lane. 12 to 10. Here goes another concussion mine. Here goes Muradin using his ulti, using the avatar. Gets taunted by Garrosh, though, and ends up falling as well.
Oh, hubris, my name at SPT. They have been forced to back up. They pushed too deep. We said it might be it. They believed it too. They pushed too far, and they get picked off one by one. Everyone else is able to pull back, but the keep survives.
All right, the keep survives. I mean, it's still early into the game, minute 10, so maybe that core call was a little ambitious, but I think if they had played it a little more slowly and more focused, then they could have definitely gotten the keep with that boss and the Zerg wave combined. As it is, though, it wouldn't be China if we didn't have a little bit of brawly action here and there. And as such, level 13 is going to be around the corner now for SPT. A-Team, they're going to have to stabilize. It's not a thing of the impossible. Both keeps are still standing, and all it takes is one team fight, channel the beacons, and then snowball to victory. Counter snowball, actually, if that is even a thing.
Is he burning down these Goliaths pretty quickly? Doesn't need too much help, but Soap comes in anyway. Might as well. There's not much else to do on the map. All the lanes are pushed up, and it would be risky for them to go too far forward.
All right. In the meantime, we see the fire bats debuffing the forts, which is a very dangerous thing, and that's actually something I'm looking forward to when playing Alterac. Now, in Hero League, as it has been enabled, with the Gnolls actually being slightly better fire bats, if that was even a thing of possibility. But these 3 Gnolls are so lethal when left unattended. They can single-handedly take down the middle keep. Just a reminder, if you guys are happening to play a little bit of Alterac here, don't underestimate the Gnolls.
Ooh, I'm going to play so much Merc Lord.
Yeah.
Because I assume Merklord, those nulls are just going to be devastating.
It's going to be quite the threat. I mean, with a Murky, you could maybe do it. You can actually bribe them in the first place and then just push alongside with them.
No supports have Merklord, right?
No, Sonya's got one. Sylvanas. He's got the Mercenary Queen.
He just takes less damage from them.
Back in the days, like a few years ago, some supports used to have Promote. That was a nasty talent.
That was very nasty. But yeah, what I was thinking is basically just if there was a support with it, Merklord, then you basically just take the nulls and just heal them. Just move along with them and just keep healing them. See a little bit of a stun off to Kaiju. Silence Root, Virulent Reaction, but no one's there for the damage. Everyone is a little bit too far below.
Bruiser takes so much damage already on Malthael. I'm not sure if he's going to get out of this alive here. Hanzo Arrow completely whiffs, and a new dragon is born, as we have established, Tetcher. You shall be the godfather and name him.
This dragon shall be... he should Terry, as we see the bot lane being pushed. I panicked. Bot lane being pushed, going to get a little bit of value. There's still a single Merc, which will be immediately sniped by a tower. But top being held by the A-Team now.
All right, Soap needs to be careful. He has been caught off guard in the past already by getting either a little reckless or not paying too much attention. I'm glad he escaped that gank this time around. Level 13 is here for the A-Team, and all of a sudden this game could very quickly actually turn against SPT's favor if they get caught yet again. So holding it for now, though. Here comes Garrosh, here comes Bruiser.
The silence and the virulent reaction once again. They move forward. The knockback, though. Yrel knocks him out of the silence, and as such, Kaito is alive. Ring of Frost. Here comes there goes the Riptide. As the last rites is not enough to kill Soap, but they're finally able to do so. Bruiser with that kill. They move forward looking for Stukov as well. They get that nice throw by Kaito. And SPT. What's happening, guys? This is not how it's supposed to go.
I don't know what's going on, Tetcher. We mentioned it before, right? You can never count out a team like the A-Team, but for them to actually win this team fight as decisively, that was a little weird. But I think it was mostly because Soap, yet again on that on that Yrel, overestimated his own tankiness, right? But they are returning. They're coming in with another kill. This time SPT 3 versus 3. 3 versus 4.
Surprise Garrosh, though. Lucky over the wall. He's able to get out. Misaka is now basically trying to tank 3 heroes. One of them is Stukov, so low damage. In comes Olele. And the percentage is still ticking up while all this is happening. It's 94 to 64 in favor of the A-Team. Yrel is going to run bot, and she will prevent the Zergwave going over to the A-Team.
Good timing. Good timing. And a good kill against Malthael. He's still going to be dead for another 8 seconds. That means if they were to fight here, the A-Team that is, and the Yrel were to actually rotate up to the top lane, they would be in a numbers disadvantage. Whew. Just a setback maybe for SPT, because they are the ones securing themselves a slightly stronger Zergwave this time around, and they still have that fort in the top lane already, so I'm not even sure if they needed someone to defend there. Planet Cracker, look at that PvE damage!
Well, there was a pretty big Zerg wave there. Now there is a single Hydralisk, 1 Ultralisk, and 2 Guardians. So pretty good value with that Planet Cracker. And Phoenix now makes his way down to the bot lane to join up with his team. Round 2 on an attempt for the keep.
I'm really glad that our observer actually caught this one, because it keeps being a thing, right? The Planet Crackers keeps being talked about when, you know, going onto Braxis. But here we could basically see all the goodness live in action. Also the perfect timing with one beam to get enough damage. But here goes the Jaina blow up immediately.
Jaina gets removed from the game and re-added in a later patch as we see the push into this bot lane. Bottom keep will get taken down. There's only Guardians left though, so we're unlikely to see a core attempt, but good push by SPT there.
Speaking of pushes though, the Mercenaries are still alive in the top lane. They're going to take down the armor of those buildings, and the Guardians, or at least some of them, should still be alive for that red Zerg wave as well. So at least one of those SPT team members needs to take care. In this case, it is the Phoenix. So good reaction by SPT, and now that they know that Phoenix is top, A-Team is already trying to go for a cheeky aggressive move, but SPT not to be trifled with this time.
Sorry.
Bless you, good sir.
Thank you. Melody going to clean up the remainder of those Guardians. It's Misaka. Just going to pull back. They don't want to get themselves caught out of position while they don't have everyone here. Phoenix is now back on the way.
Mercenary camp being taken, but SPT, are they just gonna let it happen though? Murden already trying to go for the garage, trying to keep them occupied for now. The mercenary camp was taken. A huge 2-man, now 1-man silence against Decker. He is getting blown to pieces. Murden needs to be so careful.
ZZH survives the last rights very barely, but Bruiser now begins to burn him down. Dragon Arrow comes in, big damage onto Bruiser. The last reabsorption coming in. He dives into the Riptire. The Ardent Defender expired. That Raven Bomb might have actually killed him as well. And Soap able to get out. That's a 1-for-1.
That's a 1-for-1, and I think before this team fight even started, A-Team wasn't 16 completely. So either way, it's a good trade for the A-Team. They get a little bit more value of that in terms of raw experience. They are also stopping the bleeding at least a little bit, and they can stop this push in the bottom lane. But here we see that beautiful scatter shot here, by the way, coming in from Lucky. But Murden, once again, he's just overextending, overestimating his own tankiness. The last rights wasn't even used on him. It was used on ZZH, who's also dangerously low at this point.
I'm still waiting for Planet Cracker to be used properly in a team fight, yeah. Right now it's just sort of been used for Zerg. The silence comes out.
Might be the only use Melody C sees for it, so he's going to patiently wait until he uses it.
Possibly. We will have to see. Level 18 is now available for SPT, level 17 coming close for the A-Team. So they're on even talents for the moment. But you see SPT, they're looking to try and force something. They're still 2 levels away from level 20, so they're happy to move forward aggressively.
Misaka, though, needs to be much more careful. I think he's had a couple of engages in this game so far that might have been a little too overzealous. Same can be said about Soap on that Irel. Now, they smell the victory here against Garage. Self-cleanse him, though.
Yrel, there's that Planet Cracker, gets optimal nothing, as we see Yrel getting taken out.
We talked about the front line of SPT playing a little sloppy today, haven't we, Tetra? And that's exactly what happened yet again. I'm also not so sure about this Planet Cracker, and I think Melody C may have wanted to cancel it earlier because he was waiting all the way through. He was so far away, he could have probably done more damage in his auto attack mode. Yeah.
It was a little bit of zoning, but not much, so wouldn't have minded him cancelling it as well. So yes, I agree with you there.
Right, it's currently a stalemate. Both teams have acquired control over 1 beacon respectively. Thing is, A-Team is up 1 player. So if they find someone here, Melody C could be the target of choice. It's all going to come down to that teleport timing. Ooh. Garrosh, though, still has a combo. Flings him back into the enemy team line.
And down goes Phoenix. No 20, so no Indomitable Spirit yet. Misaka, though, he does claim top lane, so he's going to prevent the Zerg counter ticking up for the A-Team, at least for the time being. But that's a real nice set of staggered deaths that the A-Team were able to achieve there.
Yeah. 40 seconds is a long period of time. I mean, it's all just a game of cat and mouse, basically. SPT is the mouse, and A-Team is the cat. However, if Jaina ends up dying here... Wait
she does. So... pops the perfect Argent Defender, actually. Baited like he wasn't going to. Junkrat turned back around and then she activates it. Oh, the knockback knocks everyone out of the stay a while and listen. Misaka, though, not landing the Stormbolt. That makes it a 1-for-0, and Phoenix will be back in 4 seconds.
They're not going for the boss for a moment. I thought they would maybe give it a shot, but they're trying to go for the Zerg Wave instead. Look at the A-Team. They're falling back all the way to their own base, and they're actually starting it regardless with Hanzo, scatter shots. Phoenix is going to rejoin them in a bit here as well. They may have superior damage, especially since Jaina is still missing.
Welcome to the throw pit, potentially, as Kaitu looks to move in, decides not to enter the throw pit, despite the fact that he literally can throw. As we do see Kaitu backing up, he's going to have to deal with moving in top again. It's going to be, if they're able to hold bot lane, that's going to be another boss Zerg wave, but the boss is going to be very far ahead of the Zerg wave due to that delay.
Yeah. Of course, they couldn't have really afford to stall it out any longer because AT was hovering and shuffling up in their immediate vicinity. But you're totally right. If they actually get this Zerg wave, maybe the boss is just going to pave the way as well. Even if they just destroy this keep, it's already going to be 1 obstacle less to overcome. And A-Team, man, they're with their backs against the wall at this point. They need to run back and hold this some way, somehow, or although I don't see a way how they're going to do it right now.
So, being focused. He tanks through it though. Gets his heal. There's the taunt. Can he do it? No, he can't activate the Archer Defender. It's on cooldown. And as such, it's a 1 for 0. But oh, the scat arrow. That's a tight area to move through. But that's still 1 kill for 0. Muradin trying to get onto Stukov, not able to do so. The boss took care of the keep. It's a 4 versus 5 for the call.
4 versus 5. No ERL, no healing available for A-Team either, though. Their health bars are still looking dangerously low, and I think it's just too much. The PvE, the Winions, and the Mercenaries, they're definitely going to win the game here. The boss is merciless as well. An unfortunate loss for the A-Team because they fought very well as a team. They were able to punish the greedy engagements from Team SPT, but ultimately it is Brax's holdout, and PvE wins you the game.
Valiant fight being put up there by the A-Team. Very close to bringing victory onto Brax's holdout.